welcome to the next session. I'm really excited to have Jose Antonio Gordillo Martorell because this is another one of our sessions really about empowering youth. I'll just pass over to you because, this is another aspect that we're trying to get in the conference, not only harms and stuff, but how can we empower youth? So I'll pass over to you, Jose.
Thank you so much, Angeline. So happy to be in this wonderful conference with you. I must say that I'm a little bit strange being here, who should be doing this session presentation would be children that are my best partners and my best colleagues in all the projects that I'm doing. I'm Jose Antonio Gordillo Martorell. I'm the founder and CEO of Culture Inquiry, that is a company located in Switzerland, in Zurich. I'm doing crazy projects. This is my specialty with children, by involving children and young people in reshape culture institutions, education systems, and technology. So today I would like to be very proactive with the people who is on the room. So I'm very happy to see your comments in the chat or in the Q&A. I don't like these keynotes that are very formal. So some for me the most interesting things as a children collaborator emerge always from the conversation and deep listening and observing them. So please feel free to put your comments in the chat. I will try to keep an eye and speak with you the meantime that I'm doing my presentation. And today, my presentation has a couple of points. The first one is bunch of sweet provocations about the role of the children in the learning process in the online world. So many presumptions and cliches that we have usually when we interact or when we invite children to learn contents in the online arena. So, 4 or 5 sweet provocations to share with you to try to start to think on this question in a different way. And the second point is an example of how can you mixing all these sweet provocations in one single package, you can create initiatives inspired on these sweet provocations. And I will give you recent examples that we start right now, this Saturday, precisely with one of the speakers of the conference, the great Sonia Tiwari, with his son, Mir, to do a wonderful session about artificial intelligence and play. And we can start with the sweet provocations. The first one is, why do children always have to be the ones who learn and not the ones who teach? Because children has wonderful skills to teach us, especially today, skills relate with artificial intelligence. They are the true experts, not us, adults, in artificial intelligence creation, use, is their natural environment, and they have a lot of experience. They are creating incredible things in networks, in Discord, with colleagues that shift completely the role that traditionally we consider in the learning process. The official systems, the formal systems, give the child in the process as a passive learner, as a passive agent that receives the information from an adult that is considered the expert. And this week provocation is constantly from me proof again and again. Last week I assist to a wonderful meeting with another colleagues, Paulina and Yasim with an incredible group of Kenyan children, experts in artificial intelligence from 11, 10, 9 years old. And they are incredibly talented, not only using artificial intelligence, but thinking about artificial intelligence possibilities and uses and limitations, ethical debates and controversies, and social connections and applications. So, this is so important to consider that the role of the children has disrupt completely in, especially in artificial intelligence, our mindset, our concept of who is the teacher and who should be the learner. The second provocation is, well, we think that children are not able to work with adult experts in the same level. This is a kind of extension of the first street provocation. And it's not true. It's something that I'm finding again and again in different projects I'm involved. Very naturally, they can share and they can cooperate hand by hand with adults by creating projects that are interesting for both of them. So, this intergenerational approach is especially easy to find in artificial intelligence when they create plays, when they create toys, when they create games, when they are searching for information, when they create stories. This capacity to cooperate with adults that are on the track, that are open to reconsider these role models, expert adult, children as passive learner. This is also something so amazing because when this when this intergenerational path occurs, emerge a lot of synergies that are unexpected and are incredibly fertile. So this is the second sweet provocation for you this afternoon to start to think about a little bit. The third one relate also with artificial intelligence is play is not a learning approach in the artificial intelligence arena. So yeah, play is something more related with video games or with another digital leisure formats, but not specifically with artificial intelligence. Programs like ChatGPT or even other programs like Krea or like Lego Play or whatever, well, they are not specifically considered with learning, but it is something that I'm I'm finding in a completely different way. You can see again and again programs that if you consider these programs in a broad angle, that is, well, you can play with the program, you can play with the algorithms. That is the title of the program that we start right now. I mentioned in my intro, you can learn a lot of things because play instinctively, play is in itself or embed in itself a lot of learning skills relate with imagination, creativity, connection, experimentation, question what is considered normal. There is a lot of things that are embedded in play, fantasy, of course, imagination, curiosity, that are triggers to learn very powerful things, very important things. So in this artificial intelligence play mode, you can get a lot of important skills related with learning that you can bring with you afterwards in different areas, in a different context, even social context that are very important. The fourth provocation, sweet provocation, is artificial intelligence is an adulthood centered technology. So children can be limited to use this adulthood centered technology and apply well to do homework or to search for information, but nothing more. This is the adulthood mindset of the artificial intelligence that we think about it as something close, something that can be not shaped or reshaped, and something that is only for one way purpose, is a kind of roadmap that is specifically designed for adults, from adults to adults, and eventually children can use it, but very in a very limited way. And what I found in my interaction with children in some projects involving artificial intelligence is that the artificial intelligence can be, as a technology, be and must be reshaped by the children mindset. For example, one of the interesting things from this question is that artificial intelligence programs are not the whole or the most important tool sometimes when children are playing or creating something. They combine artificial intelligence programs with another traditional tools like draw, writing, cutting paper, using the hands, and then bringing back to the artificial intelligence program to complement their initial hands-on activities with pictures, with tips, with prompts, with some like that something like that, and then they come back again to the hands-on arena to continue the process of co-creation. And so these kind of interactions between the artificial intelligence tools and the physical hands-on tools is something so interesting. And even you can involve another questions, like for example the question of humor, because for children humor is so important. And unfortunately, the majority of the artificial intelligence that we use are not designed for humor, to do jokes, because they don't perceive the details, the fuzzy questions that humor presume and involve. But for children, humor is essential, is fundamental. I would like to share an anecdote about this. I did an experience with children of 5 years old in a kindergarten using an artificial intelligence program about images. And when we start the process, we ask them to imagine a magic garden, okay, using prompts to create images and then cut the images and put on the wall and so on. The reaction from several of them when they saw the images in the program was so frustrating. They were so frustrated because they considered the output so boring. And they tell us, well, these images are so boring. The images on my mind are much better than these because are so much imaginative than the prompts created by Dale or whatever. That's the one demonstration of that the children's approach, the children way to approach the artificial intelligence is so many times very different from the way we as an adults we approach and we use the artificial intelligence. But this is a call to consider the children perspective when you not only use the artificial intelligence by asking them, why do you want to use this artificial intelligence program? is important for you? What's your what are you thinking about to use this? With what purpose? And start a conversation first, and be sure that they are interested in use this tool, because maybe they are not interested at all and they prefer go outside and do another thing or use another materials or start the process in a very different way. So this is the children centered approach that is so fascinating to explore together with them. Because of that, you need first of all ask them and know their idea and their opinion. And finally, the question, another final sweet provocation, is that learning in artificial intelligence is very individual. I mean, using ChatGPT or the classical or Claude or the classical, the typical programs is one to one learning process. But when you involve in the equation children, things start to change. They mix and they connect a lot because they have this community learning approach, this one-to-one direction that impose the artificial intelligence program with the collective learning dimension. And they interact much more, and they involve in the process others, peers. They even mix with other inputs like social media, and they even involve other conversation in the process. So something that initially is one to one is it's transformed by them in something much more collective, much more choral, much more groupal, much more common. This is something amazing because they are transforming in kind of alchemy this force format one to one individual artificial intelligence one side one way learning process in something completely different. And this is something amazing that I recommend to try to you, and try to consider to you, because is something that change the way you see the learning in by using these tools. So by combining all these sweet provocations, I mean, when you start to really believe that they can lead learning process by themselves and giving you some important skills that you can learn from them, when you start to think that they they can work perfectly hand to hand in cooperation with adults by involving both in the same project, when you believe that play is pivotal to learn everything using artificial intelligence, when you open the possibility to think about artificial intelligence by involving things like humor, fantasy, fail, mistakes, errors, other fuzzy things that are so connected with the children agency and mindset. And finally, when you think that learning can be and even must be collective as a process of involving other voices, well, things start to happen, magic things start to happen very, very incredibly. I would like to connect this with some recent story that I knew relate with this terrible situation in Ukraine. One of the cities that was occupied by Russia was finally liberated, and the people on the city, uh, they were so many months like in enclosed in very narrow spaces, even the children. And when they start to think about what is the first thing that we need to rebuild, to start again life as it was before the war. They didn't choose to rebuild the hospital or rebuild the health center or rebuild the supermarket or rebuild what they choose to rebuild as the first place to be again what they were was the playground of the city. Because the playground is the place where everyone can be who they are and who really they are. Play is pivotal in artificial intelligence. And that was exactly the initial idea of the program that we ran this year, 2025, in cooperation with different artificial intelligence experts all over the world, like Sonia Tiwari, but also like Marie Williams, that is an expert in playground design, or Paulina Lulu, that is an expert in children toy designer, or Christina, that is a professor in California designing toys, or Mitra Marin, that is a wonderful educator. We invite them to be part of a great experiment that is, would you like to do a session with your son, with your daughter, with a child, involving them as a leader of the session to introduce some wonderful project create using artificial intelligence tools, but by another tools? Would you like to be part of this? Unfortunately, they say yes. That's the reason because we create this wonderful program called Playing with Algorithms that you can find in my LinkedIn profile. We start this Saturday, so you are welcome to join our first session that is led by Sonia and his wonderful son Mirtiwari, to that they have created toys and plays by using artificial intelligence in a different way. And we will continue in April doing wonderful storytelling and artificial intelligence with Paulina. We will continue with Marie Williams doing designs of playgrounds by using artificial intelligence with his son. So, what is unique of this program is a demonstration that children can be leaders in learning process by involving artificial intelligence in the projects, and they can perfectly work with adults. They can even train adults in the process. They can use play in a very different way when they create projects relate with play. They can involve hands-on dynamics in a very unique way, and they can also create communities of learning in a very easy way, in a very organic way, and sustain these communities during so many time in the long term by confirming and reinforcing these dynamics of creativity, of trust in a safe space that is also very important when you where you shift the roles and everyone is welcome and everyone can contribute to these learning communities, no matter if it's online or digital or hybrid, to develop incredible projects related with how can we create an exhibition in our own home, how can we create a toy that can be interesting for one children or the children from their perspective. How can we develop the best story to engage other ones? How can we create a place where everyone is welcome to play online, but also on site. So this is for me something amazing. That is the first time that is that we try, but this experiment will demonstrate that children has the perfect role to lead any learning process related with artificial intelligence. They have the capacity, they have the ethical core, they have the responsibility. And so many times, as adults, we are so patronizing, consider that they don't have this capacity. But it's not true at all. And with this program, we are demonstrating that is not true. And we would like to that this will be the seed of new programs by involving another experts and another children in a kind of global community. So this is more or less from my side, Angeline. Happy to thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you for coming and talking about this. I mean, it's really important what you said. We are often patronizing, and we saw that in the last panel as well. And children can actually learn a lot more in regards to tech than we give them credit for. So it would be really interesting to see. Hopefully, I'll make that for Sonia and Amir. So yeah, thank you so much, because I think it's a excellent starting point, and where we have to look more and more.
Thank you so much, Angeline. Thank you. Congratulations for this wonderful conference.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.